right, we'll go into questions. Steve?
Coach, it was almost setting up like it was last weekend, but you get the 4 spot there in the 8th inning. I mean, how was the dugout engaged and maybe a little bit prepared for this moment?
Well, I think they were pretty fired up. I mean, are you talking about the Heisek hit or
I'm
getting out Condon or
the whole thing in the 8th inning when you put up a 4 spot offensively?
Well, just some great at bats. Mersch gets the bunt. Hunter Hines, I mean, as talented and powerful, he's a really pure hitter, and we've been waiting for one of those swings for a while. And I thought that was probably the play of the game. Him just staying on the ball and driving it through the left side, and then obviously Connor fought through that one and got it. You could see our dugout explode because we were pretty anemic there for those middle innings. They had done a really good job. They pitched on the edges all night, and we just didn't have much down the middle of the plate. And they did a really nice job and kind of held us at bay. But you can be offensive real quick, 3 or 4 bats in a row, and you can win a ball game. And it's fun to see.
Steph?
How do you think Cal's been able to respond these past 3 weeks, the way he has after that LSU game?
He's getting better, just getting better. I mean, if you notice, there's more curveballs. Was really good tonight, which you have to have. This lineup's scary, especially all the right-handers they had in there. The slider's been better. He always has located the fastball, and I just think he's getting out, getting going earlier. This first, 2 outings he kind of struggled early, so he's come out and been very attentive to that, just being sharp and being ready to go. I thought he was great early on today and late.
Robbie?
Going back to that 8th inning, I mean, how many times does it feel like Mersch is the guy that kind of spearheads the start of something? And also, was that a called bunt or is that his call?
That's
right
his
there?
call. That's totally his call. So I'll call some, but that one was his. So, and it was. I mean, he is in the middle of everything. And then he's running, and then the pitcher starts looking at him, and he creates a lot of havoc out there. He's a fun player.
Benjamin?
Didn't end up mattering quite as much because of the late runs, but I thought one of the key plays of the game was Connor Heisek going from first to third on the hit by Bryce Chance. What do you say about his aggressive base running and just reading that ball?
Yeah, it's a. He's a super athletic kid. So, and we have talked about. I don't know if you saw us last week at Florida. We did the same thing. They are a lot of teams in the SEC like to play deep, and so we've just said, hey, we're going to go first to third on as many as we can, and he did a great job. That's an extra run right there, probably in that game.
Steve?
Late scratch, with Charlie Goldstein. I mean, how does that change your preparation when you find out just before game time they're going to throw somebody different?
We found out this morning, so it wasn't too late. So before all our meetings and scouting reports and everything, so and then so we were able to prepare. So their coach had called ahead just when they found out. So when we got here at the office this morning, we knew. So it wasn't as big of a deal. We probably would have been better off facing Charlie, even though Charlie's really good, one of the better left-handers in our league.
Doug?
Coach, Cam threw 2 1/3 today. We know he likes to pitch every day, but can we expect to see him Saturday and Sunday?
I don't know about tomorrow, but he will be ready to pitch. Like when he is needed, he'll tell you. And he's got that rubber arm. I mean, it's pretty impressive what he did out there tonight.
Jack?
Seems like Connor, since SEC play has started, is just kind of a different hitter, I guess. Why do you think he's kind of taken that next step to really?
I think it's probably more comfortable, just comfortable being out there every day, confident in himself. You could tell early in the year he's kind of feeling his way through, and right now it's just a lot of good things he does in a ball game.
He's just absolutely perfect out in center field. And you look back when you recruited him in the portal, he was a shortstop.
Well, I don't know if he was a shortstop. He thought he was. So, but no, he, like you said, he hasn't played center field long. He's just a crazy athlete. He can do a lot of things for you. He's big, athletic. He reminds me of Jordan Westburg, the body type and the way he runs and moves around, and got a really strong arm. I mean, he can just do a little bit of everything.
Robbie?
3 straight starts now for Cal where he's come out and kept you in the ballgame, actually left with the lead. He had a tough start against LSU. What have you seen from him the last 3 weekends that he's been able to kind of stack it like this?
I think it's the off speed. I think it's mainly his off speed stuff, just being able to command his off speed and throw his off speed in there. And he's just, I just think the LSU was a little bit of an anomaly. He's really been pretty good. That was a really tough start for him, and he's a tough kid. Like he was, Park said before he went out there to take him out, he's gonna make me keep him in the game. He's the kid that doesn't want to come out. Like that's Schulke too. Like they are ultra competitive kids, and they're a little bit mean. They don't mean to be disrespectful, but they're competing. They don't want to come out, which is a good thing to have.
Steve?
knowing what a competitor Schulke is too, you know he wanted to dance with Charlie Condon there, and he gets him on one pitch to bounce that. That was a huge point in this ball game. But what does that mean for his confidence level to go out there in a big moment and get a hitter of that caliber out?
Cam Schulke's confidence is always right here, so I don't know if that changed anything. He's probably the most confident kid I got. But yeah, it was a big moment in the game. I mean, that guy's scary. I mean, we have, I feel like the last couple of weeks I've seen some of the best hitters I've seen in my career. Tommy White, Lavalette, Montgomery, and Caglione, and now you got Charlie Condon and all the other great hitters in their lineup. Like, our league has some really special hitters right now, but that was a great pitch by Cam. Like, that was, big play in the game.
Steph.
Saw, last week the way the team responded after that first game to get a big win. You obviously have a tough midweek and they respond again. I guess, why do you think this team, maybe more so than the last couple of years, has been able to flush a loss and move on?
It's a lot chemistry, I would say. I mean, I just think we're growing. We're still, I talked about today, we're about at the halfway point, and how much better can we get? Look at all the adversity we've had to go through to this point, and they still come out and they play hard, and they love each other. I mean, it's a tight group.
Cam.
Getting those 4 runs in the 8th, just how much easier does that make your job going into the 9th, and then how much more confidence?
You know, it's amazing. It doesn't feel any easier. I mean, even with the 4, but yeah, it does. It gives you a little bit of gap, lets you relax. When you walk the first guy, it's you're not as pressed, and it was good. We needed that. We lose a couple games late last week, but you look back and you'd pitch better in the 9th, but it's also we could have added on earlier. I think people forget that, and so our ability to add on there and make it a non-pressure situation was huge.
All right, thank